Does your mousepad matter? Yeah, it does, because if your mousepad doesn't have RGB, you're not a true gamer. Hey everyone, Techni here with a review on, well, a whole bunch of mousepads. Or yoga mats? But no, seriously, we are going to talk about mousepads here. Which ones are my favorite? What makes them different? And again, does yours matter? I've always been curious myself, right? I see tons of videos on YouTube about mousepads. Like, it's a piece of cloth. Does it really matter? And believe it or not, it really does. I mean, we can just go through the stack we have right here, right? We have the Odin Zero Gravity Desk Mat, yoga mat, multi-purpose here. This thing is gigantic. Surface is fantastic. We'll talk a lot about that later right there. You got RGB mouse pads, right? Some from big companies, Corsair, Steel Series, all sorts of different sizes, Extrafy. Again, Odin, different sizes right here, different colors, different designs, different surfaces. Yeah, hard surface right here, you know? And again, all sorts of personalization through it, from the fabric to the pattern, to the color, and to the size. And number one, and hands down, most importantly, is size. And that's not just saying, hey, I want a big one or, you know, a medium one. Measure your desk space, right? Not just, okay, hey, I'm gonna put my mouse to the right of my keyboard, bam, and that's where I'm gonna play. Measure your desk space, how you position your keyboard when you're gaming, and again, calculate it from there. On my desk, I use 2 mouse pads. Well, one desk mat, and then I put a mouse pad over that. And more importantly, right there on my desk, I do not keep my mouse pad straight whenever I'm gaming. I cock it to the side and it hangs off of my desk right there. So again, I'm not rubbing on the edge, giving that real kind of just burn on the side of my wrist. It's just not comfortable, right? So again, if I let it loop over the bottom of my desk, I get that nice soft feeling of the mouse pad right there whenever I'm sliding around. Of course, that's gonna be different as far as your position and everything, but again, that's how I like it. So again, I need something a little bit bigger, like an extra large size, to kind of make it flow down there and be able to compensate the space right there whenever I cock it to the side. Next up, and almost as equally important right here, which is a hard one to really judge, especially shopping online, right? You can see a mouse pad here by some third-party seller for like 12 bucks. It's gigantic, a really cool design and flashy and everything, you know. You get it on your space right there and it just feels like a piece of junk, right? It's just mushy, it's soft, the edges are fraying right out of the gate, you know what I mean? So again, your surface can really be a very big deciding factor, but one of the hardest to choose. So what I can do is at least share some of my favorites that I've had experience with and used them for an extensive amount of time. Number one, starting over here, is HK Gaming Caress M. They also sell it in a large and an extra large, I believe. Very fair price, very fantastic mouse pad. The only thing I don't like about it is it has a real shiny, glossy look to it right there. Coming up next over here is SteelSeries QCK. Very nice, quick surface as well. Kind of soft and smooth right there, but a little bit thin. So again, you kind of feel like you're right on your desk, which, hey, might be what you're looking for, right? Next up, 2 of probably my favorite mouse pads. Probably not even probably, too many probablys. All right, so definitely, I'm gonna go with definitely my 2 favorite current mouse pads here is the Extrafy GP1 and the Odin Zero Gravity mouse pad. And why I like these, they're almost like these 2 over here, just beefed up a little bit. I'm talking about the main surface right here. Very smooth, quick, but still with control, and very comfortable, which is a big thing for me. Again, with my armrest right on my desk right there, I don't want it thin like the QCK. Like QCK, fantastic surface, you know what I mean? It's great, but a little bit too thin. So whenever I'm resting on my desk, I almost feel it, right? So again, I kind of get that cushy, cozy feeling over here with fantastic performance right in line. Now, I'm also talking about surface here. Again, it's kind of hit or miss, and you're gonna have to try a whole bunch. Hands down, like, you're gonna try a whole bunch to find the right one for you. But some of the weird surfaces out there, like, I mean, look at this thing. I mean, it is a hard surface, you know? So your mouse is going across it. It is loud and stinking annoying, but very, very fast. So if that's what you're into, hey, that's what you're gonna get right here. You got a headset on, you're not gonna be able to hear it, but for me, absolutely unbearable. All right, so next up, what I want to talk about here is the build and the quality within the mouse pads here. Now, again, if you're going with like some random third-party mouse pad out there, you're gonna be able to just tell that it's chintzy. The bottom rubber will start fraying, the stitching and everything will start ripping. It's just bad. It'll start peeling up really quick on you. But when you step up into the known brands right here, again, across all of them, you're gonna get a pretty solid build across all of them, but you can still tell a difference within each. And first off, the one thing that's gonna be different this isn't as far as comparing them. This is just, again, looking at each of them. Going with the SteelSeries QCK, you can see they have a stitched edge and then one that's not stitched right there. Is there really a difference within each of them? I don't know, personal preference. Like, I've used these before, and when I didn't pull my mouse pad onto the edge right there, the edge started peeling up very, very easily. That does not happen with this stitched edge, but then again, you're losing that little pinch on the edge right there. You can feel your mouse kind of hit that edge, but I mean, that rarely happens, but that's again the benefit you can get over here. And then also on the stitched edge one, your threads on the edge right there are gonna start fraying up over time. Now, talking about the stitching across all the mouse pads here, that's where you're gonna see quite a difference. Is it like this really massive, impactful difference? I think I'd say no, but yes, you can tell the difference. I mean, number one, the first one we have right here, RGB mouse pad, right? It has like little fishing string going across it right there. Not comfortable for me at all. Again, with me resting my arm right down there, I mean, it would just scrape and give me a little rash down here. It was not cozy at all. So that one is totally off the board for me. Now, when we get into the rest of these mouse pads, they all look fairly similar, right? Of course, some of them are thicker than the others, but when you actually dive into them and start feeling that thread right on the side, start separating it. Talk about the Corsair one right here. I absolutely love this mouse pad. But again, when you start separating the threads, you can see right to the rubber right there. And again, that thread just feels very soft and fluffy. Now, when we start looking at the other mouse pads, the HK Gaming, the Xtrfy, the Odin, and then the SteelSeries as well, you can see it differs as far as thickness of the pad, right? How tight is that stitch gonna be? As you see on the Odin, it's a little bit looser here, but again, this is one of the thicker pads right here. Coming over to the Xtrfy, it's kind of right in between, right? Not as thin as the QCK, just right in between right there, but a very thick stitching. So talking about the build of the mouse pads here and that stitching and everything, is it that important? I would say no, because again, when you get into these known brands, they're all going to be pretty stinking good. Where you can notice a big difference if you're going down here into this budget like $5 mouse pad, you know what I mean? You're gonna notice that thing falling apart. When you get into these known brands, pretty much all of them are gonna be pretty solid across the board. Now, next up, in a really big deciding factor across mouse pads is style and the personality, right? As far as your setup, what is gonna suit your setup perfect for you? I mean, talk about me, right? This guy over here, you guys have probably seen this in a bunch of my videos. I don't even know what this is, Deco Gear or whatever. It's a horrible mouse pad. The size is ridiculous. It's shrunk down real tiny right here, like I can't game with it. I don't have enough space and everything. It's wide but thin. But I mean, come on, like, this looks like I almost designed it, right? So again, it stays on my workstation desk just because that design looks so good. Coming over here, like RGB, you might want that RGB mouse pad and nothing else is gonna matter. So again, you have that. Now, one thing I will tell you, at least for me, like white mouse pads or really bright mouse pads, you can see that dirt stain right there, right? I mean, it's just gross because again, I rest my wrist on my mouse pad and then I game or work, whatever, you know? So I highly recommend you not going with a bright colored mouse pad, especially white, you know? And you're petting a dog over here, next you know you're on your mouse pad. It's just absolutely gross. But then heck, you can even come down here even more personal touch as far as with little design on it or whatever. I mean, something like this, right? Or then over here with the black and red, you know? I love the Corsair design, just looks like rustic metal. So again, a really big personal touch is also gonna come within your desk mat or your mouse pad. So all in all, what can you take away from this video, right? Does your mouse pad matter? Yes. What are my favorite for gaming currently, at least, is again the Xtrfy GP1 and then the Odin Zero Gravity right here. It just has that perfect mixture for me of comfort, smooth feel, great build, and a decent price, you know what I mean? But again, just because these are perfect for me does not mean they're gonna be perfect for you. And again, the only way you're gonna be able to find that perfect one is trying multiples out. And that's a great thing about mouse pads. They're not very expensive. You're talking max, maybe around 20, depending on what size. They can get up there to like the 50s, you know what I mean? But again, they're not gonna break the bank. So definitely don't just stick to one. Try multiples right there and figure out which one works for you. As you see, I have tons more in the closet and everything, and these are the two that work great for me. And yes, I do highly recommend you trying these out because they are fantastic. After me testing so many, think about it that way. If you want fast, precise control, but also comfort and a quality build, that's what these two guys are gonna give you. So please let me know down in the comments which mouse pad you like and why, because I'm just really curious. And again, some of your recommendations down there, I wanna go ahead and scoop up and try. Again, so put down your recommendation and again, why you recommend that one. And again, this is kind of like my introductory to reviewing mouse pads. I've never reviewed any before, but now I am going to, because again, I kind of answered my own question as well. yes, a mouse pad does play a pretty big role in your setup, in your gaming performance right there. So hey, I hope I was able to help you out in some way or another with this absolute jumbled of a review right here, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for some future tech videos. Hey, I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye now. This mouse pad is so stinking big.